Welcome to Coach's Corner. This is our weekly visit with the coaches of Pohai Athletics. And today we're talking to the head Pohai track coach, Steve McHenry. Coach McHenry, thank you for being with us.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me on.
Well, how fortunate are we in the Pohai track team to have conference and regionals right here at Sullins Stadium?
We're very fortunate to have you here. Every meet we go to, we're on like an hour and a half to 2 hour trip, and it's just nice to be able to have your meet here at home where you're comfortable, where you practice every day. And I'd say the only downside is we got to do the work, but for our athletes, it's very beneficial.
Yeah, well, the conference championship coming up Thursday, the 28th, and that is this week, and it is a big deal. How many teams are going to compete at the conference championships?
There'll be 7 of us. It'll be Ponca City, Enid, 3 Midwest City High School, and the 3 Putnam City schools. It's not very big, 7 schools total.
Well, there you go. But it is the conference championships, and your athletes. Let's talk about those that are looking to compete well in the conference championships. And who do you highlight on the team? Who's really been team leaders for you?
I always start with Andrew Mitchell. He's a senior, been with us 4 years, and he's done an excellent job throughout his career on relays. Been to the state track meet several times and on relays. And this year he's doing a great job with the 800. He's a medal at every meet and doing an excellent job. And Victor Morfin's done an excellent job in the high jump this year. He's really improved. He's got to 6'2". And I believe he's medaled in the majority, not every meet, but just about every meet he has and placed. And Caleb Settle's done a great job in the shot this year. He's been medaling quite a bit.
Fantastic. How does the conference championships affect regionals? And the regionals, by the way, will be right here at Sullins Stadium May 7th. So, I mean, this is a big 2-week period for Pohai track.
Yeah. It's very big. Actually, this is the last 2 weeks of the season. Guaranteed, you got to qualify to state from regionals. But as far as conference, it doesn't have any impact on the regionals. They're 2 separate meets, and there's no, qualifying from conference to regionals. They're separate, but conference is important to us. We haven't been in a conference in a long time. I believe last year was the first year we were in this meet, and I actually was not able to attend that meet. So this will be my first time seeing them, but it's for pride, and you just want to do what anytime you go compete.
Sure. And regionals coming up May 7th at Sullins Stadium, that does have implications for the state meet, right?
Yes. Every year you hear, every sport talk about, regular season. It can be, some people say it's practice, it doesn't count. It does count, but the main one is when you get the playoffs. This is basically our playoff. We have regionals. It's a one-shot deal. From regionals to qualify to state. So everything counts next Saturday.
Yeah. Well, your athletes are gearing up and going strong. And as a coach, do you coach your athletes to really, we've heard this phrase before, but peak at the right time? Is that the way to put it? I mean, is your season leading up to peaking for conference and regionals and potentially state?
Yeah, I mean, exactly what the exact words that you would use in track, that you want to peak at the right time. And this is the time there you want to peak. You'll be at your best and try to maintain what you're in shape right now. You should be running at your best. Hopefully you're injury free. And so you got to kind of taper the workouts a little bit, not as much volume, but you got to still keep working hard. It's kind of a delicate balance, but you just got to do the best you can and be running at your best this time of the year.
Very true. Head coach McHenry of the Pohai boys track team, and you got to be proud of your athletes in the classroom. They're getting the grades, they're staying eligible, and I know you stress the importance of that to them, right?
Yes, we do. Obviously, we're here for school, and that's what's important. And we have several kids going on college, and if you want to be recruited, I mean, you got to have good grades. So we've always stressed the importance of grades.
Yeah, for sure. The different events in track, and there's so many different so many different athletic disciplines and training and stuff like that. As a track coach, how challenging is that for you? I mean, is it just kind of a master class in compartmentalization? I mean, I mean, when you're coaching shot put, that's very different than coaching, say, the 400-meter relay or something like that. I mean,
Right.
for you, how do you do that?
Well, lucky for us, we got a good staff. We got throwers coaches, Coach Friedman and Coach Green. They handle that. Coach Others handles our distance, and I work with the sprinters. And then we have Coach Roberts on the long jump and pole vault, and Coach Taylor on the high jump. So really, I just work on the sprinting aspect of it. But I mean, if you don't have that luxury of having a good quality staff, I mean, you got, like you say, you got a lot to learn. I mean, I've
Yeah.
done it in junior high. It's challenging. It's tough. And they're very different. Each event, I mean, they're totally different. So you got to gain some knowledge and do the best you can.
Yeah. And if you could help me, and I'm just a curious person, and I don't know, but is there, do you have certain athletes that will do multiple events, almost like a decathlon style, where they're doing a little bit of everything?
Well, we got a couple that, like pole vault and sprinters. Your jumps, your long jumpers, your high jumpers, and your pole vaulters are usually your sprinter type. And the throwers are usually just their own beast.
Yeah.
They just stood a shot and disc normally. And then your distance, they're pretty separate themselves. A lot of cross country kids are your milers and 2 milers, and they dip down into the 2 mile relay. And then right in the middle of the sprints and distance, you got your mid distance, and they could go like your mile relay to 200, or they could be a 400 mile relay type to 2 mile relay. So there's a few right in the middle there. But if you look at it and you know that it's pretty, they fall into a certain category, and that's where you usually stay.
Yeah. Well, it is a big 2-week period for Pohai Track. Conference championships coming up this Thursday,
Yes.
and at Solon Stadium. What time does it get underway?
Well, it starts at 4:30 in the evening. The Putnam City schools, they have the rule is that they can't miss too much class, and then they can't leave until about 2 or 2:30, I believe. So we had to move it back late in the afternoon. So it's opportunity for people to come out and watch us run, see what we've been doing.
Yeah, for sure. The importance of a good crowd. And I know you're going to have a lot of schools there, and you're going to have a lot of people traveling in, but we want as many people at Solon Stadium cheering on the Wildcat track team as possible. As a coach, you see your athletes out there giving it their all. Um, do you notice a little extra spark in their performance when they know there's a big crowd cheering them on?
Definitely. We host a beat every year, and we generally get more parents that are able to come because it's if you're going out of town, 2 hours, you pretty much got to take the whole day off from work, but
Yeah.
they can get away from work for a few hours, come watch. They have friends out there. There's more athletes in other sports that come watch. So they get they get excited, and they get fired up and try to do their best in front of their home crowd.
Yeah, there will be seniors moving on. You mentioned some of those earlier on this segment, and big uh, best wishes for them as they move on. This is the final 2 weeks of their track career
Yeah,
at
that's right.
Ohio, and just I think it's worth giving them a mention one more to those team leaders, those seniors that are helping the younger ones come up and setting an example. Who do you want to give shout outs to?
Oh, I'd like to say Casey Badley. He's done a great job for us throughout his career. I've mentioned Andrew and Caleb Settle, Luis Macias, Mason Blahoviak, Chase Allensworth, Tyler Epperson has been with us too. And they've done a great job. They've been excellent teammates to each other, encouraging their younger teammates, being good friends to each other. And that's been big in our program for 4 years. We're going to miss them.
Yeah, for sure. Well, this has been Coach's Corner with Coach McHenry, the Pohai track team, and a big 2-week period. It all starts Thursday, the 28th, and starts around 4:30. That's the conference championships, and will go into the evening on Thursday evening. And then coming up on May 7th, Saturday, May 7th, that is going to be a really big day because that's the regional tournament and yeah, serious implications on the state tournament. And who do you have your sights set on as a coach? Not to put pressure on these athletes, but of course they have expectations for their own performance, and they definitely, everybody wants to get to state if they can get to state. What do you think our chances are of Pohai getting some athletes to that state tournament?
Well, I mean, we got to perform well. Obviously, this is going to be a tough regional for us, but the guys that have been medaling, they've been in the top 3 everywhere they've been. Andrew in the 800, Caleb in the shot, our 2-mile relay that's medaled quite a bit. Our mile relays got in the top 3 quite a bit. I think those are our best shots to do well. Victor in the high jump, and we got to prepare and be at our best on that day, and hopefully we get the state meet.
Yeah, for sure. Well, anytime you can get out and support our Wildcats, we certainly want you to do that. And Coach McHenry, we appreciate you being our special guest on this segment of Coach's Corner. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Coach's Corner Zoom segment. And we appreciate Coach McHenry. And until next time, thanks for watching. And Wildcats, remember, hold that line.